Hi everyone. First of all, a very happy Women's Day to all the strong and beautiful women out there. We have gathered here today to break the bias and bust some myths about women in gaming.
So my first question is to you, Shilpa. Only 25% of game developers are women. Why do you think there is such an imbalance in the numbers, and how do we correct this?
First of all, very happy Women's Day to all of you on behalf of 99Games. Coming to your question, Nivedita, well, it's true that in gaming industry only 24% are women, but that is changing now. If you consider worldwide number of gamers, the percentage of women among gamers, 48% or more than 45% of gamers are women. With the rise of mobile gaming and more female-oriented content coming into the market, more and more women are playing games these days, and that will encourage more women into making games as well. Of course, there has to be an increased awareness in terms of what are the career options that are available in gaming. Because game development is not just about programming, it involves art, it involves statistics, so we need artists, statisticians, mathematicians, marketers and whatnot. So the game development is, it includes all these career pillars. And for talented and passionate women, I feel any industry is inclusive and gaming is not an exception.
So Shailaja, you handle the operations at 99Games. Can you tell me one instance where 99Games got gender equality right?
In the history of our company, 99Games, right from the beginning, we've always, had women, in the forefront. Be it operations, business, legal, game development. We always had women, leadership, heading these particular, teams. So I think, that's the spirit we've always followed. We never made any differentiation. If a woman had the right attributes and skills, she was given the opportunity. We never made a differentiation just because she was a woman. So I think we just got it right that way. So if you see, we have all the leaders from different streams of game development, representing the women leadership that we have been celebrating all along. So Renita is from the analytics team. She heads an important function of game development. Shilpa herself is heading the game development, and Shreya is again part of game development. So I think you can see all streams of women leading from the forefront, and of course you from the marketing team. So we have all kinds of representations over here, which is nice.
Right. So Shreya, there's always been a stigma around girls coding, and not only do you code, you also manage a team of both male and female developers. So do you see any difference between the hurdles these two genders face in your team?
Yeah, I feel there's some kind of assumption that women are not as good as men at their job, and that we can't put the same time and effort as much as the men do, or even that we can't love and follow a game or a sport just as much as men do. But it is a fact that about 45% of the gamers are women, but I don't think a lot of people realize that. So if I were to talk about cricket in any conversation for the first time, the men around will be surprised to know that I follow cricket too. Right.
And she is an all-rounder, in all our corporate matches, she's been a star performer for us.
Yeah, and if you were to beat any of the men in any of the games, they will be ridiculed as you were beaten by a girl. So I hope we can turn statements like you cry like a girl or you throw like a girl, which are statements of weakness, into statements like you code like a girl as a statement of strength.
Yes, very well said.
So Renita, you had your firstborn while you were working at 99Games. How was the transition from becoming a full-time working woman to a full-time working mom?
Yeah, it was an emotionally challenging period for me, I had to overcome this mom's guilt of leaving a 4-month-old baby at home and rush back to work. And at work, I used to avoid taking breaks and try to finish all my work as early as possible so that I can rush back to my son. It was not easy. It used to be sometimes overwhelming, to manage both motherhood and work. But, with the right support from my family, my colleagues and an empathetic manager, I could manage it well. And the key idea was, to prioritize things which are important for me, for my family, and not try to do it all.
Just to add to what Linda said, even from 99Games side, we have always tried to support working women with the daycare facility and few other facility. With the increasing trends of hybrid work from home models as well, we believe it's going to help more women to get into the gaming industry and beyond.
So Shilpa, there are very few females in leadership roles in corporate world. Why do you think that is so, and how do we change that?
See, if you consider the female-male ratio in colleges, I don't see a problem as such. Even including engineering colleges, I feel there are equal or more women taking up technical courses than men these days. So there is no problem there. And if you consider the hiring rate from the companies, there as well I'm seeing a good hiring rate of women by different kind of tech companies, including gaming companies. So I don't see a problem at the entry level basically. But it's true that when it comes to the leadership roles, the higher management roles, there are far fewer women than men. So somewhere between the entry level to those top leadership roles, women are falling off in the career funnel, which is something which needs to be addressed. And probably in India it could be more of a social reasons, social pressure that might be leading women not to take up higher responsibility roles. But the scenario can change with a little more support from the family and maybe some more planning from younger women during their early career stages. And with a lot of determination and grit from women, I'm hopeful that more women will make into top leadership in years to come.
So Shailaja, what are some of the diversity competence trainings you've had for your employees out here?
I wouldn't say there was anything very diverse training for women as such planned, but what is important is we understand that women need a little bit of attention and help and guidance when they come back from the maternity leave, and also encouraging women to come back to work when they take a career break for these reasons. A lot of times we hesitate because we think that there's a gap in their career, and we've always felt that we should break that barrier and given that we give them a chance, they will do wonders, and that's something that we've always emphasized and taken initiatives towards that.
So Shreya, how do you explain game development to people who don't understand it, especially at a cousin's wedding where game development is not yet discussed as a mainstream profession?
Actually, I feel game development is easier to explain than other IT fields because your family and friends can actually experience the work that you're putting in and day out. They can actually play the game, and it's a pretty cool feeling when they do. And during family functions, you become an instant kid's favorite when they come to know that you get to develop the games. You get paid to play games. But I myself didn't know that I could become a game developer when I was in engineering, but I used to play a lot of mobile games, and when the opportunity came, I was happy to be a part of this world. But of course, you just don't have to be a coder. There are a lot of different types of roles and opportunities, like maybe you can explain, Nivedita.
Yeah, so like I said, game is a blend of art, design, engineering and science, and all of this supported by good management, human resources and whatnot. So from the marketing side of things, we have our copywriters creating quirky content, we have our community managers building the online community, we have our social media managers amplifying a presence online, we have our SEO analysts who are nailing the Google algorithms all day, and a lot more. So if you think coding is the only way into the gaming industry, think again.
So Renita, you're all about numbers and analytics. What do you think the future looks like for females in the gaming industry?
Yeah, as of 2021, we know that 45% of gamers around the world are women. If you consider some of the titles like Candy Crush, Farmville, even our own title, Starchef 2, most of the players are women. And as women are voicing their perspectives and the demand is growing, even developers are listening and catching up. So even organizations are taking the necessary steps to welcome women's perspectives to cater to the needs of female gamers, Thanks to certain CSR initiatives, a venture capitalist firm in Seattle, has openly stated that it will invest in only those companies where at least one co-founder is a woman. Consider Intel, which is a leading technology company in the world. Even they have invested around $300 million to foster gender diversity in gaming industry. Even in India, we have Women in Games India community, where women leaders are encouraging more and more women to join gaming industry. So when undoubtedly women are excelling in the rest of the corporate world, what is stopping them to give it a go in gaming as well?
And just to add to what Rarita was just mentioning, even Government of India has introduced a lot of schemes with women as focus. So a lot of schemes introduced where women entrepreneurs are going to be encouraged. So I think it's up to us now to make use of that opportunity.
So the gaming business has definitely evolved over the decades, and women are really leveling it up, and it's no more a man's world.
Okay, thank you everybody for your time on this very insightful session. We hope to see more women come forward, shape their careers, and kill it out there.
Break the bias.
Break the bias.
Break the bias.